Welcome to another episode of the Housing to Hope podcast, the series where we dive into stories, people, and programs from Atira that are making real change in our communities. Today, we're exploring a powerful initiative that's breaking down barriers and building trust in public health, the Empower Vax Project, also known as the Vaccine Hesitancy Program. Funded by the Public Health Agency of Canada and delivered through the Immunization Partnership, this community-based program focuses on vaccine education, outreach, and support for women who have experienced violence, abuse, or marginalization. What began as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic has since expanded to address a broader range of respiratory illness, all while staying rooted in a peer-led, trauma-informed approach. Today, we will be joined by Chimebere Akinsanmi, the program coordinator for Vaccine Hesitancy, who will tell us more about this meaningful work and the impact it's having. So stay with us. This is a conversation about resilience, trust, and the power of meeting people where they are. Thank you for joining us, Chi.
Thank you for having me.
So, can you start with introducing yourself and walk us through your journey with Atira? How did you start it, and what drew you to this organization and its mission?
Of course. So, my name is Chimebere Akinsanmi. Well, when I started with Atira, I was onu then, so I wasn't married then. So I got married when I was in Atira. But I've been in Atira for about actually about 4 years now. And I started as a support worker in one of the buildings. I started as a casual support worker, learned the ropes, and at some point, I started working full time as a support worker. So that was great, like being in a particular building, getting to build relationships with the women, and not just coming there once in a week or once in 2 weeks when as a casual worker. So it was great to actually build that relationship. I left for a while because I did relocate to Ontario. But when I came back straight to Atira, which was great. Like it was that, and that's one thing I appreciate about Atira, the fact that once you're a staff in Atira, it's it's easy to come back. It feels like family, basically. So even if you leave, somehow you're always on file and they would always want to accept you back. So it was easy for me to get back into the organization. And then I came back again as a support worker in that same building. Um, After a while, I became a community kitchen coordinator because I cook and I love cooking and I love cooking for the women. So I did that for about 1 year. And right now I'm working as a project coordinator for the Vaccine Hesitancy Project. So it's great to see that there's room for growth in Atira. So that has been my journey so far in Atira.
Wonderful. Now, going back to vaccine hesitancy programs, the program that you are leading as
Mhm.
of right now, can you explain to us what makes this program unique? And from your perspective, what makes this approach different from others in the sector?
So, firstly, I would say what vaccine hesitancy is basically. It's when I'll give a scenario. You meet somebody and you're trying to explain to them why it's good to have take their vaccines, and especially during the COVID times. And the person is like, I'm not having it. Like, I don't want to get vaccinated. And you're able to probe a little bit like why, what's the problem? Then they tell you like whatever barriers they're having. Maybe they've had issues with the healthcare system before, they don't trust the healthcare system. So those are good reasons, but those are reasons that you can actually solve, right? In Atira, what we do as part of the vaccine hesitancy program is to bring the clinic to the building, bring the clinic to the residents. So we break that barrier of not being able to go because you don't want to see so many healthcare workers or you don't want to be in a hospital setting. So the hesitancy is not totally saying no. It's just there are barriers that are making them say no. And then we can provide solutions, get past those barriers and get them to a point where they feel vaccine confident. Right. So that's literally what vaccine hesitancy is. So the difference between the vaccine hesitancy program we have in Atira and other places is peer-led. And what do I mean by peer-led? So we bring in our residents people who live in our buildings, who have shown that they can be accountable to other people to work alongside us. The beauty of this is they're speaking to other residents who have been in the same situation with them, who have had misinformation or trust issues with the healthcare systems, than coming from maybe a support worker or me being the project coordinator and telling them like, oh, you have to do this, talking to them about their health, but I maybe haven't received that kind of treatment before, right? Or I don't have a problem with leaving my house and going to the hospital, but maybe this person has some disability that is going to keep them confined to their houses. So it's easier for them to relate to their peers than the message coming from me. So that is one beautiful thing about like how the Vaccine Hesitancy Program works in Atira.